Karen rang my doorbell in flip-flops, sunglasses on her head, and a clipboard in her hand. "We need your pool this Saturday for the neighborhood mixer," she said, like it was already decided. I laughed. "It's my pool, Karen. Not the community's." She didn't laugh back. 2 days later, she tried to force the issue, threatening me with fines, posting about my selfishness online, and even sending HOA notices. So I gave her a front row seat, to watch the entire pool get drained. The ask that turned into a demand. I live in a quiet California neighborhood, the kind with palm trees, 2-car garages, and an HOA that overreaches like it's a government agency. I bought my house 5 years ago, and one of its best features is the beautiful saltwater pool I installed myself, at full cost, with all permits and HOA approvals. That last part matters, because Karen, the new HOA social committee chair, seemed to think that made it public. The knock. It started with a friendly enough visit. Karen knocked one evening, all smiles and energy. "We're throwing the annual spring mixer on Saturday," she chirped. "And your backyard is perfect." "Perfect, for what?" I asked, already suspicious. "The party," she said. "We were going to use the community center, but the AC's out. Your yard has shade, grass, and the pool. It's perfect." "Karen," I said, "I didn't volunteer. That's my private property." "Oh, of course," she said. "But you can be part of something special. Just a few hours. We'll clean up after." "No thanks." Her smile twitched. "We'll talk soon." The pressure begins by morning. I had an official-looking event access form slipped under my door, 3 texts from neighbors asking if they could bring drinks to the pool party, and a passive-aggressive post in the HOA Facebook group that said, "Some people think community means sharing. Others think it means hiding behind fences." I replied publicly, "My pool is privately owned, privately paid for, and not available for rent, borrowing, or forced access. Let's respect property lines, folks." That's when the gloves came off. The fake violation. 2 days before the event, I got a notice from the HOA. A violation, allegedly for unauthorized structures within view of the common path. The only thing visible from the path was the pool umbrella that had been there since the day I moved in. It was obviously retaliation. Then I caught 2 strangers peeking over my fence, one with a measuring tape. "Can I help you?" I said from the porch. "We're just verifying logistics for Saturday," one woman replied. "There is no Saturday," I said. "Not in my yard." I called the HOA board directly. Turns out Karen had filed paperwork as if I'd offered my space voluntarily. When I corrected them, one board member said, "We were told you wanted to host. You should send that in writing." I did. And then I made plans of my own. The setup for revenge. Karen didn't back off. Instead, she doubled down. I overheard her tell a neighbor, "He'll fold. No one wants to look like the mean neighbor. Especially not with everyone showing up." That's when I checked the weather, 89 degrees and sunny on Saturday. I smiled. Because if Karen wanted to treat my pool like it was community property, I'd make sure there was no water to swim in. A splash-free showdown. Showtime. Saturday arrived hot and bright, perfect weather for a pool party. By noon, lawn chairs lined the street outside my house. Karen had set up a snack table on the sidewalk, and a few neighbors started filtering toward my backyard without ever asking permission. But the gate was locked. Karen strutted up in a wide-brimmed hat, clipboard in hand, and knocked like she owned the place. "I'll need you to unlock the gate now," she said flatly. "Guests are arriving." I smiled. "You're welcome to come around back," I said, "if you really want to see what I've prepared." The big drain. She followed me around the side of the house. The moment she stepped into view of the pool, her jaw dropped. The entire pool was empty. Not a drop of water. The deep end looked like a sun-baked crater. I'd spent the night before using my submersible pump and a rented drainage hose to clear every last gallon into my dryland irrigation tanks. I'd even posted a laminated sign by the fence, warning pool closed for private maintenance, drained for structural inspection warning, do not enter, not a community amenity. Karen spun toward me, speechless. You can't do this. People are coming. You're sabotaging a neighborhood event. No, I said calmly. You're the one who sabotaged it by assuming control of something you don't own. This is my home, Karen. My yard. My pool. She screeched, I'll report this to the HOA. The HOA arrives, and crumbles. 2 board members actually showed up shortly after, clearly unaware of how far Karen had gone. One looked horrified when he saw the empty pool. The other looked relieved. We were told you volunteered, the first one said quietly. I handed him copies of my original email refusing the event, a timeline of Karen's harassment, photos of people trespassing days earlier, the violation notice she filed, already disputed and tossed out, and for the record, I added, if another fake notice shows up, my lawyer's ready. I don't want a war with the HOA. But if Karen files one more false claim, I'll bury her in paperwork. The board members nodded slowly. One of them turned to Karen and said, you never told us he declined. This is a huge liability. The party that wasn't Karen tried one last desperate move, inviting people into the yard anyway. Except the locked gate stayed locked. The party fizzled in 30 minutes. Some guests left embarrassed. A few asked if they could at least take photos by the pool, and I just pointed at the dry concrete pit baking in the sun. Karen stomped down the street with her folding chair, sunglasses hiding the steam pouring from her ears. That night, she posted a rant on the HOA Facebook group, some people will do anything to ruin community joy. The comments didn't go how she expected. Top reply. Community joy doesn't come from hijacking someone's private backyard, Karen. Epilogue, pool's open, for me, I refilled the pool 2 days later. The HOA board issued an internal memo clarifying that no homeowner's private property could ever be used for public events without their written consent. Karen was removed as chair of the social committee the following week. And me? I enjoyed my newly quiet backyard with a cold drink, a clean conscience, and 0 strangers tracking grass into my deck. Sometimes, the best way to win is to let them see exactly what they could have had, right before you take it all away. Love real-life revenge stories that end in karma and clapbacks? Subscribe now for more HOA meltdowns, Karen takedowns, and perfectly timed payback, delivered every week with a splash.